Hello kind people of YouTube and welcome back to another video. Just a couple stories to quickly get through today, so let's get started with the biggest one and one that I think a lot of people are underrating in its importance. And that is Venezuela launching a crypto remittance service, and I mean the actual country here, not a company. This was launched by the country using Bitcoin and Litecoin. The Nicolas Maduro-led Venezuelan government announced the launch of cryptocurrency remittance services recently. The remittance, which can be settled by using two crypto assets, Bitcoin and Litecoin, was authorized by the country's crypto asset regulator, Superintendency of Crypto Assets and Related Activities, earlier this month. The service on the Remesas platform is designed to enable individuals living abroad to settle payments with recipients in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The recipient should be of legal age and should also be registered with the Patria platform to receive payments. Patria is the platform that is being used here. The service on the Remesas, sorry, I already read that. Sunacrypt's official website detailed a comprehensive registry of crypto active services. Sunacrypt is the name of their superintendency here. So you see here a screenshot of the official, this is a government-run website advertising this protocol to send remittances to the country using Bitcoin and Litecoin. After the execution of the transaction via any of the two digital currencies, the funds will be credited in sovereign bolivars in the receiver's account. According to sources associated with the country's local media, the system will allow the users to receive a maximum of cryptocurrency equivalent to 10 petros per month. For logging into the platform, a one-time password or security code will be sent to the sender's email address. To access the remittance system, the user will be required to fill in the necessary credentials of the recipient. The average time for executing the payment is 34 minutes for Bitcoin and 11 minutes for Litecoin. These are essentially just the payment speeds of these networks, the transaction speeds. And that is pretty much all we need to read here. The meaningful thing here is that Venezuela, the actual government of Venezuela, has introduced a program to use crypto to get liquidity back into their markets. Now, Venezuela, of course, is facing a massive crisis. They are facing hyperinflation of the kind you see at most once every couple decades in the world. They are in serious trouble. And this is how they're trying to get money back into their currency, the bolivar. Because, of course, what is happening here is these Bitcoin and Litecoin are being sent essentially to the Venezuelan government and then traded into bolivars, from what I can tell here. So essentially this is Venezuela stocking up on Litecoin and Bitcoin and then creating more bolivars because, of course, having the central bank, they can do that. This is them getting money into the country, but notably they're doing it with cryptocurrency. Now, it's entirely possible that they're selling these off for dollars or for any of the other internationally valued currencies, for euros, for yen. But what is also possible is that they're stockpiling Bitcoin and Litecoin, and this is a clear sign that they are embracing the power of digital currency, the power of cryptocurrencies, and embracing Bitcoin and Litecoin in a major way. This is essentially an unofficial way of saying we accept Bitcoin and Litecoin as an official currency to get money into the markets. Now, like I said, it does get turned into bolivars at the receiver's end, but where do these Litecoin and Bitcoin go? And since this is all a government operation, it seems pretty obvious where it's going. This is very intelligent of them, and they have really messed up their economy in a million ways, but this is an intelligent use of new technology, and it's a shift in how nation states have been dealing with crypto, and embracing of the kind we don't see frequently, and we are probably going to see more of this in the future in countries facing hyperinflation and similar issues. Because this is a way to fund the government again, to get more money flowing into a country by allowing these transactions through crypto, by allowing people to send money in different ways, by not forcing people to buy bolivars in their own country and then send those there, by not forcing people to use fiat currencies, but instead accepting crypto directly. And it's a big step. I think it's very exciting, and this will be a source of more things to come in the future. Next up, Huobi is launching XRP OTC trades today. The team at Huobi's OTC trading desk have announced that they will be launching XRP trading today, March 6th at 10 AM. The tweet making the announcement can be found below, and you see it here. The exchange went on to give the following fee schedule when buying XRP using different global fiat currencies. And this is, you see here the taker 0%, the maker 0.2%. Those are very low fees. Split between maker and taker, they come out to 0.1% trading fees. That is pretty much better than you're going to get at any exchange, and this is one of the reasons that people are trading with OTC. Among other reasons that I've already talked about on this channel, if you're buying or selling a huge amount of crypto, you don't want to do it on the open markets because you risk crashing the markets. You might not want to be seen, you might want your transaction not to be as public, and then you're also getting a trusted trading partner as well as these lower fees. Now, this article just goes on to give a little instruction on how to use this trading desk. That isn't really of interest, especially since OTC trading desks are for the big fish in the crypto sea. They are for people that are essentially trying to unload hundreds of thousands at one time. The decision to add XRP to the trading desk is meaningful because that means there's a significant demand for large amounts of XRP. Essentially, people buying OTC are millionaire, billionaire investors, are huge corporations, are big players in the fintech world, are big players in the traditional finance world, are Wall Street. So this demand, there being enough demand to add XRP to their over-the-counter platform, that should tell us a lot about where XRP is going. I've been saying this many times. XRP is being added to a lot of over-the-counter trading platforms. This is big for XRP. That means people are aiming to spend millions and millions and millions, possibly billions, on buying XRP in the coming years. That means banks and tech companies and private investors and hedge funds and investment firms are all stocking up, looking to buy large amounts of XRP, and it's very promising. Next up, let's briefly talk Facebook Coin, or at least what people are calling Facebook Coin. We do not know the official name of the project, and we probably won't find out for quite some time. Facebook is hoping to succeed where Bitcoin failed with its highly secretive cryptocurrency project. A New York Times article published today, February 28th, you see this article is a bit older, but I thought it was interesting, argues. Citing multiple anonymous sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity, the Times pieces together the alleged contours of the project, which will reportedly aim to integrate cryptocurrency payments into its messaging services. Notably, Facebook plans to rehaul its messaging infrastructure and integrates its three wholly owned apps, WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram, under one canopy. That sounds terrible to me, but I guess that's what they're going to do. As the Times notes, this would provide a future crypto token with exposure across the combined 2.7 billion who use the free services each month. This number strikes me as possibly being misleading. It sounds like they added together the number of total users that these platforms have, but there's of course massive overlap there. Like, for instance, I have WhatsApp, I have a Facebook account, thus I also have Messenger, and I have an Instagram account. Meaning I have all three, so I would turn up 3 times when you're counting these numbers together, but I'm really just one person. I'm not sure about this combined 2.7 billion. It's probably closer to 1.3, 1.4 billion if you're accounting for how many people have multiple of these apps. Anyways, that is still a massive number. Either way, it will be at least 10-15% of the total world population who might get exposed to this cryptocurrency if they integrate it there. A crypto-powered payment system that would operate from within a messaging systems. A crypto-powered payment system that would operate from within a messaging system, the Times notes, is an idea being hotly pursued by several global messaging giants, such as Korea's Kakao, Line in Japan, and Russian-developed Telegram. This sentence is hard. According to New York Times, Facebook launched its crypto project led by ex-PayPal president David Marcus shortly after Telegram had steered close to $1.7 billion in 2 private initial coin offering rounds for its forthcoming token and blockchain platform Telegram Open Network. Facebook has reportedly employed over 50 engineers to develop its cryptocurrency, 3 unnamed sources told the New York Times. A further 2 told the newspaper that the importance of keeping the project under wraps is such that the relevant team has been given an office with separate keycard access to keep the details private from other employees. Notably, 5 sources claiming to have been briefed on the team's work allege the forthcoming coin was most likely to be a fiat-pegged stablecoin, tied to the value of 3 different national fiat currencies rather than just one. See, this is the really interesting part of this to me. So essentially, they're not creating a traditional cryptocurrency that tries to stand next to fiat currencies as its own thing. Instead, they want to use this to allow people to just essentially send fiat to each other. So essentially, this is a very simple, mainstream ready way of introducing this. This is a way that they can mainstream the use of crypto to make it easy for people. Because if you have a Facebook token that is always worth $1 or always worth €1 or always worth 1 yen, then when you meet up with friends and you decide to, let's say, sorry, my thought process was all over the map there. Let's say you meet up with friends, you go to dinner, someone forgets their wallet, one person pays, and then later on you're looking for a way that the other friends can pay that person back. This seems like the kind of option that a lot of people will then go for. If you have the security of a stablecoin, if you have the kind of branding that you're used to, say you're a US American and you're paying in dollar, you have to pay somebody back in dollar, you can easily do it with a dollar-pegged stablecoin without being too worried. This will be very easy for people to grasp. This will be very, very easy for people to understand, very easy for people to start using. And this seems like, I mean, for all the issues that a lot of us, me included, have with Facebook, I'm very, very concerned with the way Facebook is monopolizing certain markets, with the way it is collecting and selling and processing information. They do have a lot of incredibly, incredibly smart people working for them. And from the little information that we have, the integration into the apps, the tying together of these apps into one and packing it to multiple different fiat currencies, it seems like this project, once it is introduced, will have a real big chance of finding mainstream use. I think a lot of people won't even recognize that they're using a cryptocurrency. If you suddenly have the option in Facebook Messenger to send somebody $5 Facebook dollars and you have the knowledge that these are worth exactly $5 US dollars, I think a lot of people are not even going to recognize that they're using a cryptocurrency. Now, there are questions associated with this. First up, do we want Facebook monopolizing the cryptocurrency space? Probably not. But I do think if they're doing it with a stablecoin and if it's going to be directly integrated into their platforms, it seems like that is its purpose and we don't have to be too worried about it taking over the mainstream crypto market, becoming the go-to coin. I don't think we have to be worried about that, at least at first. Then, of course, we have the question of how decentralized will this be? I'm going to assume that if this is meant to be integrated into their platform closely, that they won't really care about centralization, decentralization. They will just make it as centralized as possible to make it easier for them to control it, to make it cheaper to use, to make it faster, to make it... Those are the advantages of centralization. Decentralized often means slower, often means less throughput. Theoretically, you can reach the same speeds, but they generally take more work, they take more intelligence, they take more effort. If you have a centralized server, it is very easy to get a high number of transactions through there. And I'm going to assume they will go very, very centralized with this. But we have very little information. We really have to wait for them to actually make a proper announcement. As much as I'm wary about Facebook and as much as I do not like them, I think this project is turning out very interesting and it will be interesting to watch it. But I don't think we have to worry about this hurting the mainstream crypto market, hurting the crypto market in general. Stablecoins are a separate thing. Stablecoins shouldn't even be counted among the market cap or listed among the top coins. Stablecoins have a very different purpose, different use cases, and are being looked at differently by the people using it as well. I'm not sure stablecoins should even be considered cryptocurrencies. I think they should be considered an analog to fiat currencies that exist digitally. But that is just my personal opinion here. But I do think this will be an interesting project to watch. Not necessarily to invest in, because if this is supposed to be a stablecoin, then obviously you can't really expect either a lot of price fluctuations for day trading or upward movement. But just for making mainstream users more open to the idea of using digital cryptocurrencies, or digital currencies I meant, this could be a step in that direction, and there might be something positive to this in the end if it gets people used to the idea of using non-fiat currencies, even if it's just a stablecoin, even if it is tied to a huge company that has questionable ethics on privacy. I think there might be something good to come out of this. And last but not least, let's very briefly talk about futures trading, because this shows how much of an interest there is by traditional investors, by big investment firms, by big money. Cryptocurrency futures provider Crypto Facilities has seen tremendous growth since being acquired by US-based crypto exchange Kraken last month, an executive said. Sui Chung, the subsidiary's head of indices and pricing products, told CoinDesk that trading volume has increased more than 500% since Kraken acquired the futures exchange at the beginning of February for $100 million. Well, Kraken are quickly making their investment back here. Crypto Facilities is perhaps best known in the US for providing Bitcoin and Ether reference rates to CME Group, which lists Bitcoin futures contracts. In total, nearly $1 billion in crypto futures has been traded over the past month across all 5 products offered by the firm: Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Moreover, this growth is not limited to the largest coins by market cap. Our daily users have gone up by a factor of 4, and that's across all products, not just major coins, but they've all seen similar growth, he said. Part of this boost comes from the Kraken acquisition itself, Chung said. I think obviously having the support of a major US exchange helped, and obviously Kraken bringing our product set to a very loyal user base. That Kraken branding carries a lot of weight, and also the fact that because we run contracts on the major 5 coins and take collateral on the major 5 coins, we pay out and helped. This shows us that you can make a massive acquisition like this. 100 million, that is not just change, that is a lot of money. And still make these profits here, nearly 1 billion in just that month. Now, I don't know how high their fees are, but I'm going to assume they're at least 0.5%, meaning that they have already made back 5% of their, what am I talking? Yeah, 5%. They have already made up at least 5% of their initial investment here within 1 month. This is the growth of the crypto markets. This is the amount of money flowing through crypto. 1 billion in crypto futures just in 1 month, and this is a growing company. This will likely only increase in the future. How do you think is trading this? These are not like your average low income traders at home who have put $100 into crypto. These are Wall Street investors, these are millionaires, these are billionaires, these are investment firms buying these crypto futures. I always like to talk about these stories because I just want you guys to keep in mind just how much interest from the investment world there is. You have like 50 stories every month about billions flowing in. All of that adds up. And a lot of it is not coming directly into the markets, but coming into products built on top of the markets, like crypto futures, or coming into companies that are active in the markets, or coming into the development of cryptocurrencies. All that money, we don't always see it reflected in market cap, but all of this will have impacts, positive impacts on the market in the future. All of this is laying the groundwork for what I believe will be the biggest bull run that we have ever seen. Now, if it will happen this year still, nobody can say. It could happen tomorrow, it could happen in 2022. But when it does happen, all of this, all cumulative, sorry, I can't pronounce that word right now, all together, will come together, will jump us higher than ever before, I believe. So much money coming in, so much interest, so much happening. And that is what I want to end this video on. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to read any of these articles yourself, they will be linked in the description. If you want to follow me on social media, my social media links are also in the description. And if you want to support the channel, there are ways to do that in the description as well. Thanks for watching.